Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2, where we are well on our way toward the science victory. We might be able to get it this episode. It might take one more. There's still a little bit to do. So, right, we have to finish off this tier of this quadrant, opening up Wealth of the Endless. We have to research that, and as you can see there, 140,000 science. It's not cheap. And then we have to come back to this tree, or this quadrant, research 2 more things in this tier to open up the final tier, research 3 things in this tier, and that will open up both this technology and this technology. And when we research both of those, we win. So, I have some questions here. For one thing, I realized that I forgot about something. I forgot about something important with the way our Science Behemoth modules function. These Stellar Node Study modules, in addition to generating quite a lot of science, also lower the cost of technologies, right? But they lower the costs of specific categories of technologies when orbiting specific types of special nodes. So, we're orbiting a black hole right now, is that right? I think it is. A neutron star, rather. So when we are orbiting a neutron star, the cost of science quadrant technologies is reduced. And that was really good for us early in the game. However, once we moved on to the other quadrants, we are no longer getting the cost reduction. The big error that I made, so like in theory, it would be good for us to be around a collapsing star now because we're in the combat quadrant. We don't actually have a collapsing star available, and remember these things have basically no engines on them. We could fix that, but it would be a little bit of tedious, like, equip, unequip nonsense. But the second quadrant that we researched is the one that's represented there by like a couple of bars from a bar graph, the second one. And that is reduced by orbiting asteroid fields, which we totally could have done. We have an asteroid field right here. So that was an error on my part. We definitely added a little bit of time to our totals. However, I have a question. This is what I want. I want the science window. I'm not actually sure how these are, what these are considered. This says it's a population and trade technology. That's not actually the name of any of the quadrants. Economy and trade is the name of this quadrant. You can see over here we have military and empire development and science and exploration. So basically my question is this tech part of this quadrant, or both of these quadrants, or neither of them since it's not actually in either? So we're gonna have to do a little test here. Also, speaking of behemoths, we are currently on 3 out of the 4 behemoths we are allowed, and we are one behemoth technology away from getting another one unlocked, which we are currently researching. So, let's go ahead and grab the other behemoth to which we are entitled. And then when Citadel Blueprints finishes, we will get yet another behemoth to which we are entitled. Every one of them, of course, tremendously valuable. So, and also at this point there are very few things we can build that still give us science. So I'm going to move one of our behemoths over to here. I'm going to orbit this asteroid field and see if it reduces the cost of that technology. Also, our Scout Lord has been captured by pirates, or at least detected by pirates, because they can now detect level 3 cloaked ships. Yeah, these are pirates. They're not attacking her for some reason, and it turns out that we're not really threatened by anybody. Yeah, this doesn't matter. Just continue trying to come home. She can't move anymore this turn, but wow, she's just gonna go right across the center of the galaxy, huh? Well, okay. Listen, she's done the math. She figured out that's faster. Alright, now the cost of that tech is gonna go up in a second when we finish Citadel Blueprints, because every tech you have increases the cost of all others. So, let's go have a look at what it costs now before we move this guy. I will be right with you on that. Okay, so it is now 143,247. Let's finish this guy's movement and see if that goes down. 143,247 becomes 132,503. Yes, indeed, it is reducing the cost of the techs. So, I guess let's send the rest of the behemoths over. This guy has some skills or whatever. Alright. So plus 30% science on system. Let's talk about whether it's a good idea to bump Facile Staccato out of this system or not. So he is currently giving us plus 1% per sleeper, plus a flat 60 that's being multiplied by all our stuff. Where are we at in terms of sleepers right now? 4. This looks like 4 as well. 2. So we have 10 sleepers right now, and we are able to embed another. I hate to say it, but that seems like it's a much lower number than plus 30% science. I mean, I guess we can just check, right? Boy, this number keeps going. Oh, well, this number went down a little bit because we are no longer orbiting a special node with all of our behemoths. It'll go back up in a second. Well, yeah, we can just try it. Right, I can unassign him. Assign this guy as the governor. Hold on. It was 14 something. Probably should have noted that number exactly, but... Huh, really? It's possible that this number has not recalculated yet. Also... Oh, also the approval, right. There was a lot... There actually are other things that are keeping Fuss all staccato as the best possible choice. Alright, well, we'll just keep them on that. We put a couple of our heroes on reassignment cooldown here, but it doesn't really matter. Because none of them are being used for anything meaningful except for the one who is governing the system. Yeah, I forgot about the fact that he is giving us a considerable amount of approval, and that's the only thing that's keeping us ecstatic. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a lot of extra approval. I totally forgot about how much approval we were getting from that skill. Okay. Well, that makes that pretty clear. So we ran the pirates off. What is that? Why is there a system over there? But I think we can probably just come home. I don't know if there's a lot else of value for us to do here. Let's cloak up. Nobody else, none of the player forces really seem to have much in the way of detection, except maybe the Unfallen. You guys should just stay asleep. Like, we could attack the Vajani, but there's not a lot of value in doing so. Like, we could slow their game down, maybe, but it doesn't really help us. They're not a threat to our victory, I don't think. Because we are already winning faster than they are. So, we could speed things up a little bit, I suppose, by declaring war on these guys, since it seems like there's no actual danger to doing so. Get an extra 20% to our science, because right now we're getting 10% from each of them, but we could be getting 20% from each of them. Yeah, and it doesn't seem like there's any penalty. The AI can't seem to figure out where we are or how to fight us. Nor even if they really, like, want to. Alright, yep, so you're all just going to shout at me. We are, in fact, going to place another sleeper, I think. So we could pull 3 sleepers out. We'd lose 3 science. How close are we to that population? Okay, we're actually still really far away from this. But we're not that far from this. Maybe I should... I'm just going to embed a sleeper right now. And we'll pull all the sleepers at once there's 5 of them. I think that's the best way to maximize our science per time here. Okay, so I think we're good. Let's just keep moving. Oh, sure, we're not good. I gotta remember to assign my hacking operations. So we want to run another hacking operation to Botha, obviously. We'll just keep doing what we've been doing here, because it keeps working. So we're currently running hacks to Kerr, Nakar, Octens. We're running a hack to Kerr to install another base. Running a hack to Nakar. Where the heck? If I click on these, it toggles their visibility. It doesn't jump to them, which is a little awkward. It would probably be a little bit more straightforward to remember all this stuff if I wasn't playing only an hour a day. So Octans, right, we're gonna install some sleepers there. Okay, I mean, listen, I trust. Alright, we're gonna install a sleeper in Nakar. We just installed a sleeper in Botha. That's gonna mean that we should be at 5 sleepers. Right, because we had the opportunity to abduct 3 before. So next time we hack Botha, or the hack that's currently going to Botha, should be able to abduct 5? I think. Alright, let's just go ahead, and I cannot throw another one of those in the queue. Really? Didn't we just finish a, Current progress was 2 of 3, and then we got one. The number didn't actually go up, it just reset our apparent progress. Okay, well, whatever. I think it may have let me start building a guy early, actually. I think maybe we're not supposed to actually be able to begin this last behemoth until we got the Citadel Blueprints tech. Alright, Fossil Staccato, you're doing a great job. Sorry about everything bad I've ever said about you. I mean, I would never say anything bad about you. Are you kidding? I love you, big guy. Big guy? Me? I guess technically I'm just talking to myself, a version of myself. None of these skills really do anything anymore. Obviously, I am not interested in a truce because you pose 0 threat to me. You wouldn't be able to fight me if you could figure out where I am, and we both know you can't, so... Alright, not a lot of other stuff worth building here. We could build ourselves a Behemoth C3 center, allowing us to produce 1 more Behemoth. It is going to make our Behemoths much more expensive, but if we go negative on money, we can survive probably forever just by selling stuff on the market. Okay, we're only negative 83. Obviously, we're going to build another Behemoth here, so it's going to get a little bit more expensive. We definitely want to inhabit as many gas worlds as possible because, obviously, 5%. Pirate League has been eliminated. All pirate lairs have been destroyed. Well, it's nice to see the AI finally getting off their butts and doing something. And man, at this point, all of his skills do literally nothing. We picked up all of the skills that have any effect at all outside of his ships. No, yeah, like, after we get this, I think that's it, right? Everything else only affects fleets and ships that he is in command of. Well, that's cool. He's all maxed out. Academy power has increased even further. Not something that we care about a tremendous amount. Right, and here we can produce 1 more Science Behemoth. Truly a final Science Behemoth this time. And the actual cost of this technology is now only 100,000. Although it's going to go up in a second, obviously, because we are researching stuff. Actually, I'm going to pull this out of the queue. We don't actually want to research xenoanthropology before this, because we don't want to push the cost up any further. And xenoanthropology offers us no benefit prior to getting this next Endless Tech done. So we may as well roll all of that extra science over into our research. We might be able to get this under 5 turns. Nope, okay. Just 2 5 turns. That is 100% acceptable. Nope. The pirate leader is all upset. The Pirate League has been crushed. Though a few scattered fleets may continue their line of work, the galaxy has become a safer and more predictable place to do business. More boring, yes, but more predictable. It seems, however, that the leader of the League was as wily as his reputation indicated, as he has escaped with a small but powerful fleet to continue his briefly interrupted career. We can't have that, can we? Hunt! It's like there should maybe be more or less text here. This seems like the wrong amount to me. If we find and defeat the pirate leader, we can unlock him as a hero, which we don't need to do. I don't care about this. People are building outposts over top of our sanctuaries. Doesn't harm us at all. We will add this to the list of things that I am resolutely, currently not caring about. Okay, so that's some nebular clouds. We found another system called Trove. Why are there so many troves? I don't know. You guys can come home now. Good work. We've discovered all the things. We immediately filled up our new sanctuary. Well, we gotta run another hack out to there because I want to be on that other gas world. I think that's pretty important. Each gas planet that we inhabit is a 5% science bonus, remember? These guys have a lot of good and interesting ways of boosting science, which is important, since they only get the one system and everything. You sort of get other systems, it's just you can't build all of the good science improvers on them. Although I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, the Lumeris will win the Ghost and Dust quest soon, who cares? This happened. Minor civilization population was increased. Obviously we were not able to participate in this quest, because we do not have other population types. Other civilizations are completing all sorts of deeds that we don't care about. These guys would love to pay us for a truce. I don't know why. What would be their impetus to pay us for a truce? We pose absolutely no threat to them. Oh. So, eventually, you can try to force a truce on your opponent, especially if you're able to turn the momentum of battle against you, or against them. But we can pay an influence cost to refuse this truce and continue gaining our extremely large science bonus. I gotta say, I think that gameplay with these guys would be a little bit more interesting and compelling if the AI had any ability to figure out where you are or how to fight you. I think Endless Space 2 has a lot of really great mechanics in it. It's a really cool, deep 4X game where you have a lot of interesting, weighty decisions to make. But unfortunately, the AI is just completely unable to play it. Okay, we've also hacked Octans, where we will embed sleepers, because I love sleepers. We need to put up some new hacks. I will remember, I am going to put up the hacks. Sure, cloak, and then, I don't know, whatever. I kind of wish we could queue up the next several stat points, so they would just go in without me having to go to the screen. Alright, we can get this guy over to here. Reduce the cost of this technology again. And after that, I think it won't matter what type of node we're orbiting, because... Let me see here. Oh, a little bit of slowdown there in the science menu. This is considered an army technology. That's the thing we're going after last, though, because this is the only one of the endless texts that gives you absolutely no science at all. So we'll be doing Empire Development next. And this is also an Empire Development technology. And in order to get the cost reduction on Empire Development techs, we have to orbit nebular clouds or regeneration fields. Nebular clouds, huh? That's a solar nebula. Is that the same thing? It's probably the same thing, right? No, this is a nebular cloud. Well, seems unlikely that we're going to be able to get around one of those very easily. I mean, the reward is significant for doing so, though. If we equipped our ships with the fastest engines we have, they would be very fast. Maybe we could do it. I mean, well, obviously, let's finish Wealth of the Endless. We're not doing it now, but... Yep, everybody just go to sleep. Remember that thing I said? Remember that thing I said about needing to run new hacking operations? Oh, if they take over Wrath, this is going to get a little bit more complicated. Also, notice that Corvus is now Unfallen territory. Interesting. Well, why don't we run a hack from Columba like this? This should give us plenty of time to get our hack finished on Corvus. Let us also install an Excel. I mean, this, like... We have a very formulaic thing now that we are doing, but it seems to keep working. And then it would be to our benefit to figure out where else there are gas planets. Also, to pick up Ikima. Why don't we run a hack from Kerr to Ikima in the opposite direction of our already existing hack? It does seem very strange to me that you apparently have to hack systems that you already have sanctuaries on to get more sanctuaries on them? Possible that I'm missing something. So when we pick up Wealth of the Endless, we're going to see another 15% boost to our science. It's not amazing, but it will be something. At this point, the thing that would actually be best for us is if we could acquire large amounts of just flat science, if there were anything left to do that could give us that. But alas, there really, really isn't. Am I allowed to hack Horatio right now? Is that a thing I can do? Okay. Seems like bouncing off of about 2 extra nodes has been buying us enough time. We haven't had a hack actually finish tracing in quite some time. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good set of bonuses there. 4,000 science is all right. Oh, I am close to achieving victory science. Now every other player in the galaxy knows that. Unfortunately, I don't think that actually... I don't think the AI is programmed to respond to that message. Like, I don't think it makes any difference to them. Alright, so we need 1 technology in this tier. And then 3 big techs up here. And then we are set up to research nothing but endless tech for the rest of the game, which will be short. Oh, right. This was the time to start moving to a nebular cloud. Is that the closest one? Is this actually further away? Yeah, I think that distance is slightly larger than this distance. I don't know that it matters a huge amount. It's probably pretty close to... It's probably either the same number of turns or like a single turn off with actual good movement speed. Get ourselves some more population space. A little bit more movement. Alright, and we are cool to research the final tier here. So with this, we could gain another percentage boost to our science, if we were willing to convert some of our behemoths into citadels. Is there anything else we can pick up that matters very much? We can get extra food. Food converted into industry when population is at max. That is interesting. Creates extra food in our sanctuary worlds. This doesn't really do anything at all. Yeah, okay, let's pick up chlorophyll chemistry because the super biofuel factory, converting food into industry and then industry into science via AI research will help at least a little bit. And then we just need 1 final technology, which seems to be pretty irrelevant. We'll pick up this because extra food production will matter a little bit more once we have the biofuel factory. People asking us for truces constantly that we will completely ignore because we do not care. And we need to start another hack. So we want to probably keep running hacks onto green stuff because it keeps working. It's possible that we are not maximizing the value that we're getting here. Okay. We finally did lose the science law. That's a shame. It's not going to affect things too much. We are going to have to actually finish researching this tier in order to re-unlock this tier. But our science output is so high that I don't think that'll be a big deal. It'll be pretty easy to get, actually. And then, like, I don't know. Doubles the resources gained when trying to convert a sleeper into an umbral shadow when there is no available slot for it on the home system. Sorry, we gain resources when... Huh, I thought it replaced existing population. I thought that's what it said. Interesting. Okay. Nope, we are not. We're not interested in truces right now. Our population boost has ended, so that's a thing we got to deal with. Yeah, I thought that the text implied that if... I guess I need to know how many. 10 still. I thought the text implied that if we tried to take over... If we tried to take some sleepers back to our place as Umbral Shadow, and we didn't have room, they would replace existing non-Umbral Shadow population. But maybe they do that, and also there's a resource bonus. A bunch of our fleets woke up because something kind of came near us for a moment, and we'll just put them all back to sleep, obviously. Okay, so let's talk about getting these guys out to here. If we update our scientific behemoth designs, remove all of the science and technology cost reduction things, and replace them with very fast engines. Let's see. 4 movement points. And then after the first engine, actually, if we do this, I think we end up with the best possible result. Right, because now we have 17 movement points, and each one of them is plus 125% distance, assuming these stack in the way that it seems like they would stack. Let's apply that design. Oh, you know what? They aren't retrofittable if they're not around one of our systems. So even if I did that and moved them out to here, we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be able to refit them when they get back, or when they get there. So we wouldn't be able to attach the correct modules. So actually, it doesn't really benefit us to move them ever again, right? They're producing their 4,000 science, and we're just gonna let them do that. Okay. So at this point, we really are at the point of just like mashing end turn, huh? Making sure we're not missing. Oh, we can build the Behemoth C3 Center multiple times. Interesting. I thought I remembered that you could only build this once on each of your systems. Nope, we can totally just make even more. Well, so every turn we cut urgent AI research, we're cutting some of our science. And it's a fair amount of science, right? We're at 21,286, or with this up, well, it didn't actually... Hold on, we're going to hit end turn here. We're going to get that that value to recalculate real quick. 24,298. So if each behemoth is producing 800 science orbiting one of these, embed sleeper, obviously. And at this point, we want to abduct, right? Yeah. 5 of your sleepers in this Empire's systems will be removed, and 1 unit of population will become an 5 Umbral Shadow. What on earth are you trying to express to me here? We're going to press that button because I don't know what the hell they're trying to say. Right now, we are at 25 and 10. Let's press that button and see what happens. Okay, 2015. Yeah, it does just replace existing... I guess it doesn't really matter where these are anymore, since all of these things should have the same resource output now. They don't quite, actually. Hold on a moment. Why are these two... Oh, these two are higher because of the resource deposits. So actually, we want to fill 2 and 3 with as many points of Umbral Shadows as possible. And then 1 is 3rd. Yeah, the Nexus should get tertiary priority. Okay. So, I think we should be building this. If we take this out of here, we can take the industry rollover from this and apply it toward the next behemoth instead of having it roll into urgent AI research. I think we should be making behemoths. Because like I said, we have so many multipliers now that large amounts of flat science are really valuable. Get our population collection bonus of +5 all resources per Umbral Shadow on home system, which is pretty good. Right, hacking operations. I'm glad that there's a notification, because they're not, it's not super obvious to me that they are not done, and that I keep skipping. Is this a gas planet by any chance? It is not. It is a small, arid world. Ooh, there are gas worlds to grab over here. I wonder if at this point, since we're probably not going to be able to hit the other population bonus, I wonder if at this point embedding sleepers is maybe a little bit worse than getting new gas planets? Might well be the case. Let's run a hack to that world. Currently owned by nobody, so we really should just take the fastest possible path. Right, because this is just an outpost. And then no gas worlds over here. No gas worlds over here. There's a snow world. Oh, I guess I gotta be careful about my approval. Well, maybe not. Maybe actually we're fine. So we need to run one more hack. I can't run another hack to Duckel right now, right? Okay, yeah. Even I was kind of hoping that even with the duplication warning, maybe it was just trying to keep me from doing something silly, but no, it really doesn't want me to do that. So I guess we'll just run a hack over here. We'll put another sleeper in there. We want to pick up the other gas world, but we have to wait. Alright. So we're a little bit negative on dust now. But like I said, I don't anticipate it really being a problem. Yeah, close. Quote-unquote close to achieving victory. Again, we got that the notification got sent out to the rest of the galaxy when we hit 50% of our victory. I don't know, man. This doesn't matter. I don't even know why I looked. Let's get that scientific behemoth. And we can just leave it here, actually. There's no sense in moving it anymore. There's also just no sense in moving it away from the asteroid field. But I think I get these guys. I think we can play a much faster, much smoother game with them if we were to start anew. Obviously, we're not going to do that. We're not just going to run another one of these guys. I kind of want to see how the hacking mechanics affect the play of the other factions. But I'm not sure who would be the best to play to explore that. We have a pretty good idea how the cloaking mechanics affect the play of the other factions. Because, I think that's a little bit more obvious. So we could embed a sleeper on Takim. I wasn't really thinking about this, but we also could, well, my Sanctuary on Wrath was destroyed. Oh no. One of my Sanctuaries on Wrath was destroyed. The world that we lost was Wrath 2. That is a shame. I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, Takim. We already have a sanctuary here, so it won't cost us any additional approval to put another sanctuary up. We can pick up a world that has a fair amount of science output, actually. Takim 4. Yeah, I think that might be worth doing. Alright, so how are we doing on this stuff? We have one turn until we have re-unlocked the top tier. It's certainly not the fastest science victory we've ever gotten, but it's not a terrible one. Oh, yeah, he sure is. Here, you're now the lord of... Apparently I cannot... Oh, while they're asleep. Okay, you are now the lord of this fleet. Go back to sleep. Sleeping fleets are detecting people as they fly past. I wish I could tell them to be sleepier. No, seriously, you guys, it's okay. Just keep resting. Yeah, I'm not sure who would be most interesting to play with the hacking stuff with. Obviously, any faction that's incentivized to play science. Oh, I'm close to achieving a wonder victory, because now I could build the wonders. That's what close means, is now I could start on that victory condition. Obviously, I don't think our faction actually can win a wonder victory, because you have to build three of this thing, and you can only have one in each system, I believe. So we literally don't have enough space to build this, as far as I'm aware. But it's okay, we don't need to. Get Citadel extensions, which we have most of finished already. Chlorophyll chemistry, which we have part of finished already. That's kind of weird that when we lost access to the tier, it canceled our research on the thing we were researching, but allowed us to put another full turn of research into something else in that tier, and then canceled that. I mean, whatever, it's all stuff we needed to finish no matter what. Just strange. Okay, everybody sleep. Everybody just have a good nap. Alright, here we could just build another one of these. It's starting to become a little bit of a prohibitive cost. I think we can do one more, though. Oh, and we have an open hacking slot. Because I never remember to run my hacks again. We're still running a hack to Ebony. We probably need to start running to Botha again. Botha's a little harder to access now. Like, a lot of places are becoming a little more awkward to access because there are other players on them. I'm going to try doing this. Hopefully this hack won't get canceled by Red. It might, right? It totally could. We're going to run accelerators on both of the inhabited worlds that we are passing through. Zakor is being... Nope, no longer singularity'd. Yeah, the Riftborn AI very, very rarely maintains a singularity on a world for very long. Very strange. Oh! We're out of titanium. Weird. Also, really, really losing money now. So that was maybe pushing it, that last one. That was maybe too much. Well, the good news is we have a lot of stuff we can sell. But I put the thing in the queue already, right? Okay. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't selling resources that we were going to need. Obviously, we can do this for the moment. That'll buy us some time. What did I need? Okay, we're good. Hold on. Yeah, we're fine. Everything's fine. I may have bought more resource than I actually needed there. Whatever. Alright, so 4 turns. 4 turns. On turn 150, the final endless texts become available to us. And then, I don't know exactly how many more turns we have left to go. But yeah, it's kind of a slow science victory, honestly. I'm chalking this up partially to the fact that I did not have a good grasp of how to play these guys at the beginning, and I arguably still do not have a good grasp. I have something of a grasp now. So, let us just keep running hacks. Keep placing sleepers, etc. As soon as Decal's hack finishes, we'll run another hack out there. And so as far as I can tell, we have not actually been hacked at any point during this game. You would think that the AI would occasionally hack you. But it might just be because of the fact that our home system is stealthed, and no other player has been able to figure out where it is. That's part of the reason I want to play with somebody else. I want to see if the hacking system is a little bit more is used a little bit more aggressively by the AI if they can tell where you are. Okay, so no more behemoths, I think, would probably be a good idea. We should get the super biofuel factory, I guess? Oh, I'm allowed to build one more. Probably should do that. Uh-oh. Inazuma saw Urgaz firing an obliterator in an unknown direction from Hydrus. Apparently... Okay, we're getting messages from each AI player who isn't Urgaz that they saw Urgaz fire an obliterator. Well, let's go take a look at Hydrus? Boy, where even is that? So they said in an unknown direction. Obviously, what they mean is toward an unknown system, because you actually can see the obliterator projectile. Man, I dismissed all those messages, and now I kind of wish that I had checked to see if there was a show me this button on them. Also, I don't know the names of the AIs. Urgaz. Urgaz is these guys. There's Hydrus. Okay, we don't actually have vision over here. I can't see the obliterator projectile. Well, you know what? If it's coming toward 3C75, that could be real bad for us. But this isn't a star system, so I'm not even sure if it can work that way. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, anyway, let's continue to produce behemoths as long as it will let me produce behemoths, but we probably should not build another one of those buildings that doubles their upkeep, because that's starting to get a little expensive. Alright, let us continue to embed sleepers. Right, because abducting one sleeper now. Each sleeper we embed is 1% science. An abducted sleeper... We're creating... Wait, I thought Dekel had 2 gas worlds. Was I tricked by a planet that... Yep, I was tricked by a planet that has a ring but is not a gas world. So actually, it's not super valuable to us to install another sanctuary over here. That being the case, I guess we will just run hacks to other players. Let's just keep running... Oh! I see. Sirius is getting some stuff placed on it. Alright, confirm that as target. We could run a hack to Zinnius as well. Oh no, Kuribani is still happening? Wait, what? Why does this not... It has no duration remaining, but it's not actually done? Or no, it's just I didn't press the button yet. Right, because I was thinking about which one of these was going to be more actual science. So... we have quite a few points of... Yeah, actually, 1% science is a considerable amount of science at this point. We have a lot of flat science now, but... our other option... So our other option will give us... these yields plus 5 of each of the non-influence outputs to be multiplied. Yeah, it's gotta be better to install the sleeper, right? I think so. To be honest with you, I'm just sort of roughing out all this math in my head rather than that's not what I want. I want this. I'm roughing out all those math in my head because I am trying not to sit here doing math over and over again. It's not, like, super fascinating to watch, probably. Right, let's just run another one to Ebony. They have population left there. They have 1 population left there. We can totally make that guy a sleeper, too. And then we'll just own their entire populace. We'll just take over the Ark. Drive it home. Park it outside our neutron star. This is our real goal. The science victory was too easy. Now we're going to just steal ships from people. I am close to achieving victory conquest. That's not... What? This is not correct. I own 14 out of the 28 required star systems. Huh. I didn't realize that making sanctuaries counted toward the conquest victory. Well, that's interesting. I wonder how feasible it is to win conquest with these guys then. If I had realized that that was a thing, and we had really focused on that, it doesn't take that much to get a sanctuary, especially if you're only sanctuarying one planet per system. Obviously, you have to manage your approval. That seems like it would be a pretty easy way to win the game, actually. Alright, 7 turns on this. This says it'll also be 7 turns, but, you know, the cost will go up. Excuse me, I cannot quite get my throat clear here. Alright, well, I don't think there's anything left for us to do, sadly, except for hit and turn a bunch of times here. At this point, another reason, by the way, that I have not been actually stopping to do the math all the way. At this point, given the values that we're dealing with, it probably is not the case that we're going to do anything that's going to have even a single turn effect on our remaining time to victory. But something that reduces our time to victory by more than 1 turn is like exceedingly unlikely. Unfortunately, we are now going to be dominated by AI player time. Probably is important to keep this running. We now have 15 Umbral Shadows. Also, 118 of the other thing. Definitely not going to be able to get that running. Oh, we did get more law slots unlocked. Unfortunately, I do not believe that we have any laws available that will have any effect. Any positive effect. I mean, this is just... that's just free stuff. And then... the Dirty Hands Act doesn't help us. Ship cost down doesn't help us. This is free money. Free money helps us. A little bit. Yeah, pretty high law upkeep. We're still extremely fine. Well, we're doing our best on science production. We managed to get our production up to pretty high. Did I drop out of devoted? No? Okay. I was kind of hoping that number was going to be a little closer to 30k. This is why our science victory is feeling a little slow. We may have brushed up against the cap of what I am able to coax out of our game at this point. Certainly not the cap of what we could have produced were we pushing it correctly from the beginning. I mean, like, technically all of these food production things do matter a little bit. I would need 25 quadronics to make that thing happen. Somebody sold a ton of quadronics. Who would do such a thing? Let's get that done. And then I think we are on urgent AI research for the rest of the game. Those food things could matter a tiny bit. They might be able to push us over the edge of a single turn. Yeah, okay, we gained a turn there. Went down from 5 to 3 instead of 5 to 4. Between putting on AI research again and that. This guy is going to have every skill point by the end of the game. He's actually not that far off. So yeah, I think part of the problem with the AI here in Endless Space is just that the game is very complex. There are an awful lot of things you can do each turn. There's an awful lot of ways to approach many of the systems, and I think it's too much. It's too much for the poor machine brain. We are unfortunately going to be very, very bottlenecked by their decision-making time now. They need to move ships around, let animations play out. It's not really decision-making time so much as it is ships moving around time, probably. We should be keeping our hacks running, like, hacks matter. I don't know, man. Alright, so we have hack ending this turn. Like, again, it is possible. Each sleeper potentially could be one that pushes us over a turn threshold. We could also take more sanctuaries, probably. Because the endless tech we're working on right now does give us a flat approval boost. It's like 20 points, too. So yeah, we could probably take another system or two without really brushing against our approval threshold. Which would potentially... Like, we could run a hack on Deneb. We have one sleeper here. Yeah, let's just infiltrate. Run a hack on Deneb, because that's just a gas planet floating in the middle of nowhere. Let's do that. Unfortunately, I can't actually run a hack on Deneb that isn't going to run through somebody else's stuff, it looks like. We have so many hostiles here. Hold on. Actually, if we run it from our capital around Izar, not into Izar, but past it. There we go. I mean, that's not going to arrive until the game's over. And I don't even know what you're doing right now. I assume you're attached to a fleet somewhere. I kind of forgot that we even had a second Umbral Choir hero. Okay, 6 turns, in fact. So we did accelerate by more than a turn. I mean, the re-enabling urgent AI was not really... It makes sense for us to create a sanctuary? Yeah, probably. This time it's right. I actually am close to accomplishing this. Might of the Endless somehow... The research time went up by a turn over the course of our turn there. I wonder if it was showing us the research time based on its unadjusted cost from before it counted the fact that we had just finished another tech. That's at least possible. Oh, yes, hack. Fine. Sure, I'll hack. Twist my arm. I guess I'll hack. Let's see. Ebony is currently... Here, we can do this. That doesn't matter. That's not going to finish in time to matter. I took a little look into the AI documentation because they did release, in theory, they released some modding tools that you could use to mess with the AI. It seems like people have not really done that yet, and I think part of the reason for that might be that it is a little terrifyingly complicated. What I saw, but who knows? Maybe we can make something happen. I'm at least going to look into it. Alright, so we are going to have to do one more round of selling stuff to the marketplace before game end, because we actually are going to run we're going to run out of money again. This is very fixable. I suppose, at this point, all that's really left to do is soak in the atmosphere. And maybe tell a story, because we're done making decisions, but the game is going to go on for another 10 minutes or so. I did a weird thing this morning. I don't know if this is a thing in a lot of other places in the country. I've lived in Michigan my entire life. But sometimes, during the winter... so, I don't know what winter's like in other places. But in Michigan, it doesn't stay cold for the whole winter, generally. I mean, we may as well run extra sanctuaries to Decal, right? We already have this world in our sanctuary, or this system in our sanctuary count. It doesn't stay cold the whole winter, right? It gets cold, and then it gets warm, and then it gets cold, and then it gets warm. Somebody once told me it has to do with the lakes, that we're surrounded by lakes, and that makes the weather strange, but I'm not a meteorologist. I don't pretend to understand, first of all, whether that's a real thing, or secondly, even what they might have meant by that if it's not a real thing. The important thing is, it, warms up and cools down. It bounces back and forth over the point of freezing repeatedly during the winter. So it's also a heavy precipitation time, usually. I think we want to just keep embedding sleepers. I just want to keep getting that 1% bonus. It's a heavy precipitation time, and it rained a lot last night. it rained a lot as the temperature changed from above freezing to below freezing. And when that happens, everything outside ends up coated in ice. Like the rain freezes to stuff, and then more rain falls and it freezes to the ice that is already frozen around stuff. And so you end up with like a crust of ice around every object. Like the trees just have a 1/4 inch thick coating of ice. And when that happens, and you have to work for a living, you have to dig your car out of a shell, a car-shaped shell of ice that has formed around it. So I got to do that this morning. I had to dig Elise's car out of the shell so that she could go to work. And while I was doing it, I was thinking, I wonder if this is a thing that people, like, really have to do in other places in the world. Because it's kind of a strange thing. It's also, honestly, kind of a fun thing. I like digging in shapes around parts of the car, like cutting out the big piece of ice that's on the windshield and just lifting it off. We're going to throw our support behind the scientist party once again, but something tells me they're not quite going to pull it off. Honestly, they were close. The religious party has surged back into our government. Irrelevantly, as always. So yeah, that's a weird thing. It can be a real pain in the ass if you are not a morning person, having to get up 10 or 15 minutes earlier so that you can actually get your car out of the ice in time to still make it to work. Uh-oh, imminent victory. They're close. You guys, really, you don't have to wake up every time somebody comes past. This is not a good use of your time. Alright, we should probably... It doesn't matter, right? I'm going to buy the potatoes, but this doesn't matter. These potatoes are not about mechanically, like, making our victory easier or anything. These are reward potatoes. Congratulations, guys. You did it. Man. Now I want some award potatoes. No, I'm not. I am not engaging another hack. We will not finish a hack in 2 turns. Yeah, that is definitely one of the things I do not miss about having to go out to a physical place to work. I like winter an awful lot, but I do not like mornings, and those two things sometimes conflict in frustrating ways when you are part of the normal workforce. Well, I do believe this is it. A turn 163 science victory, right? We're moving from 162 to 163, I think. Certainly not the fastest we could have gotten. I really didn't know what I was doing, but I hope that you all have enjoyed the process here of kind of figuring out how the Umbral Choir works. I think this is a really cool faction. I think the hacking system is a really interesting take on espionage. It's quite unlike anything I've seen in another 4X. We will get a little victory cinematic here. Let's watch that. At some point, we will get a little victory cinematic here.
Is a marvel of light and motion and tempered life. The old gods may be silenced, but the choir will carry on watching from the shadows, bringing harmony to all who suffer.
Whether they like it or not. Harmony. Harmony for everyone. Yeah, alright, so you can see here, overall score, as in many 4X games, not actually a good indicator of who is winning the game. What was all of Gamma's score coming from? Well, they certainly had a lot of industry. Geez, that's really a lot of industry. What on earth were they doing that they were unable to win the game with 1 million industry? I don't know. The AI they make the decisions they make, I guess. There's a tool. We could look into that. We could actually look into their brains. That might be an interesting thing to do, actually. For now, I suppose that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. I'd like to play another game here with another faction. Try to feel out how the hacking system works when you're not completely invisible, when the computer can tell where your base is and stuff. So if you have ideas for which faction would maybe be interesting for interacting with the hacking system, let me know in the comments below. Obviously, anybody who is incentivized to research science stuff heavily is going to get a lot of the hacking programs, but I think in practice they'll probably play out pretty similarly to the way we played out, although I guess other factions won't be trying to hack to create sanctuaries or anything. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if you have ideas, let me know in the comments below, and come back next time for the start of a new game. And we'll see you then.